All right, let's get started. We're going to start with a blank presentation. I have already selected a Survivor 49 logo that I just downloaded from the internet to make him a little easier for everyone to see. We'll crop some edging and then we'll blow it up to be as much of the screen as we can take here. All right, now take a look. Little layers. This is just one image. It's just a web page download. I don't think it was a JPEG, but it's a single image. So we're going to go to edit. We're going to use this magic layer and we're going to decompose the whole thing. So here it goes. This does take a few minutes. We'll fast forward past this through the magic of editing. Okay, we've got everything now. You can see some of the fonts changed to whatever the closest match was. And that's all right. So what we're going to do, and oftentimes the easiest way to do this is go back to position. You can see what was a flat file is now all kinds of different elements. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hit Control and I'm gonna start grabbing some of these things that I know I don't want. So I know I don't want the trademark, I don't need the swords, I don't need the shark fins. I'm gonna change out the pirate ship with something else, and I don't need the lower water. All right, I'm also gonna get rid of this white square that's just kind of part of the background. All right, once I got those all selected, hit delete, and they're all gone. All right, now this is the base we're going to work with. I'm going to change this wording to be match at least what I'm trying to do. Oops, I got an extra E in there. Still wants me to have an extra E. The tribe has spoken. This is just a quick homage to what we started with. All right, and now that that string's a lot longer, you'll see the curving's a little bit, going to sneak around a little bit on an oval. I'm going to call this Hawaii. Let's go over here and call it vacation. In the center, I'm going to identify the family name. Make sure you just right over the top of them. I'll make this line up just a little bit here. All right, I'm going to duplicate them, get them lined up, and we'll make this the year, just so that we can work with that. All right, so that's the beginning of it. We've now basically taken all the elements that were there and modified them to what we want. There's a few elements we want to add in. So let's go there. I've got these here in my recently used. One of the things we're going to do, instead of having this white space, we're going to fill it in with this kind of graphical island scene. We'll come up here about like such. Somewhere in that range. And what I want to do, I want some of that tree to I want them to kind of come up into here. So I'm going to line that up so that we get, some of it. I'm thinking this last tree right here, right? And we'll stretch that down. Now, what's a little bit frustrating is this guy's just right on the edge. So we want to clean that up. Okay, that ought to work. And what we're going to do so that we don't have this box sitting here, first I'm going to duplicate it for a whole nother purpose. So I'm going to put up here in the corner. And then I'm going to go here, we'll hit position, and really we just want to move this down to the bottom. But we got the wrong one. So let's move this one down to the bottom. All right, there we go, we got that. Now what I want to do, I want some of this palm fronds to come up here into the wording. So we're going to select this guy, edit, and this time instead of using magic layers, we are going to use magic grab. Right? And it'll highlight a few things that we can grab. So I'm going to grab these trees, and I want to grab there we go. I think those two should work. And let's grab them. Again, this is a little bit quicker than the layers. They'll pop out. Let's see, now we can do this. Again, let's duplicate it. All right, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like take one down to there, and I'm gonna take the other one over to here. All right, so it's these two trees that are right here in front. We're just gonna line them up, and it may well help. Oops, let's make him bigger. Sometimes it definitely helps to, zoom in a bit more and make sure you've got it. All right, and then we'll do the same thing over here with our trees. Zoom in there. Okay, now you can see that we're coming into this space, and we don't necessarily want that. So all you got to do is just resize them up here, take them into that space, and this guy here will do the same thing. And we'll take him into this space. I'll have to do it from this direction. All right, and there you go. So now we've got some foliage or whatever coming into here. Next thing I want to add, let's see, we can get back in here to recently used, see all. Instead of having a pirate ship or whatever, I thought something like this would look really good. Size them just a little bit better. Fit them in here. All right, and again, we have to reposition him because we've got all these positions. So we want him to be behind that water. There we go. So that's the beginning of that. And one last thing that I wanted to look at, I found this tiki, and I thought I had a little bit of space there in the center. I'll just use this as my spacer between the two. You want to get these so that they're equidistant. Sometimes that can be misleading if you've got these guys. There you go, something like that. You may even just bring these in until they're the same size. So they're 21 pixels. And there you go. That's your design. Enjoy. I think that was a lot of fun. And you can just pull these off the internet, hit Magic Layers, and you've got a template to work from. Let me get rid of this. There you go. Final design. Enjoy.